Oh. And go.
Serena Azurean couldn't be here.
Oh.
So there's just a giant plushie in her likeness.
Oh. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's Colin the Fan of Serena Azurean on Trans Visibility Day.
Yes, or just Visibility Day if you're non-binary.
So, recently, we watched a couple of retro movies from the 90s. First, we watched Cable Guy. And afterwards, as I realized that there's a bit of a loose connection, we watched What About Bob, which I don't think I realized was a Disney movie.
Yes. It was released under Touchstone Pictures.
Yes.
Which is a brand that Disney uses.
Is it considered a subsidiary?
I think so. It's basically if Disney wants to release a movie that maybe doesn't fit their typical mold, they'll release it under Touchstone. So, like, if they ever do a rated R, if they're like, hey, we want to do a rated R movie.
Does Touchstone even exist anymore? Or did they dissolve it?
I think maybe it still exists.
I don't know the last time I saw anything come out by them.
Yeah, they talked about, there was rumors from fans, like, hey, they might do Deadpool through Touchstone.
Yeah. Anyhow, so which one would you care to talk about first?
You know what? I would say the Cable Guy's probably more well-known.
Yeah, absolutely.
This one, let's just do it chronologically. What about Bob?
Okay, so What About Bob came out in, I think we said 1991. It feels like a very 80s movie.
Yes, it is.
It's still very much of the 80s.
Yes, it's like for those that have been around for a while, you'll notice that when they shift from one decade to another, it takes a few years for the new decade to fully take root.
Yeah. So in this movie, it follows our protagonist, Bob.
Yes, played by Bill Murray.
Yes. He is a very troubled man who has a lot of issues that I think were not very prevalent in movies at the time.
Yeah,
nowadays, I think his mental troubles would be a lot more commonplace to be, both in real world situation and in movies. But yeah, he's germophobic. He is obsessive compulsive.
He's like Monk. He has all the issues.
He's got a laundry list of problems. But yeah, basically he has a hard time functioning in society, and he is very attached to whomever he ends up getting as a therapist. And the movie starts out where his current therapist transfers him over to a new therapist played by Richard Dreyfuss. And
from Jaws.
Yes, he
was
later
in Jaws. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, he was already in Jaws. What am I thinking? Jaws is older, but yeah. So basically, this therapist guy is a published author who is just about to get his big break. He's going to have an interview with Good
Morning America.
Yes, with Good Morning America.
It is actually a program, as of this video, that is still very much a thing.
So, basically, I don't think the movie, establishes it terribly, but apparently it takes place somewhere in New York. At the start, and
it's mentioned here and there.
He ends up leaving to go to his lake house on Lake Winnipesaukee
because he is due for vacation, and he's like, "Hey, I'll deal with this guy later," and they're like, "Well, he's here now. He's your next appointment." So he rushes him out of the office, and then goes on vacation.
He gives him his book, famously, called Baby Steps. About taking everything one step at a time. Don't worry about the big picture. Don't worry about how am I going to get home. Worry about how am I going to get out of this room. And then once you're out of the room, figure out how you're going to get downstairs and so forth and so on.
Yes, and it's like, I don't think Bob, the main protagonist here, well, one of the two anyway. He's
Deuteragonist then.
Yeah, he's, I don't think he ever actually reads the book. But
he reads the title.
Yeah, he reads the title. That's about it. I really want to say
perhaps he reads the book, but it's never shown one way or the other if he fully read the book or not.
One thing that did bug me is that Richard Dreyfuss's character, he's supposed to be one of those guys that you kind of don't like because he's kind of disconnected from people. You know, he treats them like he's above them.
But he definitely feels like he
But the thing that bugs me the most is that he is like, if someone went through therapy and tried to describe what therapy is like to someone who's never been to therapy, it's like that's what you get. He is like such a broad caricature. He's like, basically, as someone who's been through some therapy.
Same.
There is no. He is just the worst therapist.
So you're saying you think Richard Dreyfuss had never been to therapy and didn't have any personal experience with seeing somebody like him to base the character off of?
I think so. Either that or he did, and the script of the movie producer's like, no, do what's in the script.
Okay.
And I'm like, but that's kind of...
So, the other cast members, this movie has a lot smaller of a cast. It's very cozy of a movie. It features, I can't remember the name of the person, but he played the kid in Dick Tracy.
Yes.
And I'm trying to think, it was like one other major credit to his role. But yeah, he ended up becoming a lawyer.
Yes, in real life. The actor ended up becoming a lawyer.
The actor grew up and became a lawyer. But yeah.
The mom, don't forget the mom. She was in Airplane.
Yes.
And Just Friends.
I do not remember her name, but she is the love interest of the protagonist in the movie Airplane.
Yeah, and she plays Ryan Reynolds' mother in Just Friends.
Okay. And speaking of Ryan Reynolds, he supposedly has had his mother on his Mint Mobile ads.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
But anyhow, so the movie follows as Bob figures out a way to track him down, and he kind of just inserts himself into his therapist's vacation, and everybody else besides the therapist likes the guy for whatever reason. Mostly, probably because he's the polar opposite of Richard Dreyfuss's character.
Yeah.
And he resents him for it. He's like, I don't know how he can, just let everything go and have fun at one point. He's a real stick in the mud.
Yeah, because Richard Dreyfuss is kind of self-absorbed.
Yes.
But Bob, loves everybody and everything.
Yes.
He gets a couple bits of advice and just has, an epiphany. And he's able to just let loose and just do what he wants, and everybody actually kind of likes him. But Richard Dreyfuss is just kind of self-absorbed and is like, stop doing that, pay attention to me. And people are like, no, you're boring.
Yeah. So, definitely a pretty good movie. It is definitely, a great Bill Murray comedy.
Yeah.
So if you like Bill Murray's antics, you'll probably enjoy this movie. Famously, I was looking it up. Apparently, Siskel and Ebert reviewed this back in the day on their show, and one of them said it was a good movie, gave it a thumbs up. The other one did not care for it at all, gave it a thumbs down. The one thing that I agree with them on is the ending feels rushed.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, they kind of just tack on a one little scene that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And after that resolves, there is just text that comes up on screen, says what happened to Bob after the events of the movie, and it's entirely not foreshadowed in the slightest that this would be where he'd end up. And they don't even say where everybody else ended up. That's it, just him. And roll credits.
Yeah, it is very quick.
It's really very sudden.
As you put it earlier, they just didn't know what to do with the ending. They didn't know how to finish the movie.
Also, Frank Oz directed this movie.
Yes, the voice of, you said Miss Piggy, Gonzo, and Yoda?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually had not told you he did Gonzo.
I knew.
But I think that's
I knew, Gonzo
right.
and Yoda were the same guy. They actually are basically, they're very, very similar voices.
Okay. Frank Oz directed.
Gonzo or Grover, or both?
Probably. I haven't actually looked it up. But anyhow, so that's our first movie. Our second movie is The Cable Guy, starring Jim Carrey.
Oh, I don't have it.
Starring Jim Carrey and Matthew Broderick.
Yes, Matthew Broderick.
Is this what you were looking for?
No, I was looking for the movie. You're holding it in the thumbnail. Yeah, there you go. You know how long it took me to find a coaxial cable? Like, I don't really have it sitting around these days.
Yeah.
I didn't really have any use for it, so I got rid of all my coax. And now we're like, guys like, hey, we should get coax for the video. And I looked through
I appreciate you looking so hard.
Yeah.
Gave me time to get done what I needed to get done. But anyway, so yeah, basically this movie, yeah, you may have heard of it, you may have seen it, but yeah, Jim Carrey is a very wacky character. He's a cable guy. He comes to install the cable. Anybody remember what cable is? He's coming to install cable for Matthew Broderick's character, who just recently broke up with his ex.
Yes.
Although he is still holding on hope to get back together with her. Yeah, so he needs cable installed in his new apartment. And the guy that shows up is this guy, Chip Douglas, a very wacky guy, as Jim was one to play back in the 90s. And yeah, he kind of just starts inserting himself into Matthew Broderick's life.
Yes, he becomes rather enamored with him. Matthew Broderick says a few things that that Chip's character latches onto, and he takes it like as them being friends. So he just clings to him and doesn't let go.
He manages to like manipulate him into like staying with him. When he wants to kick him out, he like guilts him into keeping him around.
Yeah,
he buys him favors and and stuff like that. So there's famously a scene where they both go to medieval times.
Yes,
that is a fairly well-known scene. Which also includes cameos by Janine Garofalo and Andy Dick.
Yeah.
And possibly others I'm not aware of, but...
Yeah, we should mention Ben Stiller plays...
Yes, Ben Stiller's the director.
And he also plays an off-screen character that we only ever see pictures of.
Yes, he is the story in the story. A running narrative following through the whole movie is a court case about a pair of twins that used to be child TV stars together as twin brothers, like the Olsen twins or something like that of that nature. And there's this big court drama that's happening where the verdict is on the line, and
he's accused of killing one of the brothers is accused of killing the other.
And of course, like I said, they're twins, so they're both played by Ben Stiller. But yeah, so they're kind of just like I said, they're in the background. Anytime the TV's on, it might cut to up the newest things that transpire in the case. So yeah, that's all he's really in there for. But what do we say his dad's name was? I already forgot it again. George Siegel. George Siegel shows up as Matthew Broderick's character's dad, as well as
his brother is played by Bob Odenkirk.
Yes, thank you, Bob Odenkirk
from Mr. Show, and one of the one of the TVs. Actually, I can't remember who it was, but there's a shot with a bunch of men in a room.
He's also in Better Call Saul as Saul Goodman.
Yeah, but there's a shot in one of the they're like in a boardroom or something, and one of the characters is David Cross.
Yes, that is one of his coworkers.
And he's just like in the background.
Yeah, he's kind of just sitting there in the boardroom meeting. He has an occasional line here or there, nothing substantial, but he's there. And Jack Black is like his only friend outside of the cable guy. He's able to help him out in a couple of pivotal moments in the movie.
Yeah, he's the friend that always wants to hang out with him, but he can never hang out with him because the cable guy keeps hanging out with him.
But it was Jack Black's idea to approach him about slipping him $50 to get all the cable packages for free.
Yeah, he's like, slip him $50, they'll hook you up. And that's kind of what gets the ball rolling.
So it's Jack Black's fault.
Yeah, he's like, hey, you know what? Keep your $50. We're friends, right? And that's where this ebb and flow of the relationship comes from.
I think I read this was like his breakout role was for Jack Black. I don't think he had done anything.
I thought he had acne.
But yeah, I do not believe Jack Black had acted in anything significant before Cable Guy, and this was his, shining moment to get noticed.
He's been in a lot of things over the years, but yeah, nothing was really significant. I mean, maybe before this or around the same time.
Also, his buddy Kyle Gass got to play a cameo.
Kyle Gass is in like 2 or 3 shots. It's always the same shot of him like in the living room reacting.
Yeah, he's just one of the various people watching TV.
Like, oh my goodness, Kyle Gass! Like, I'm sure a lot of people at the time had no clue who that was.
Yeah, I mean, unless Tenacious D was a thing at the time.
Oh yeah, they most certainly were a thing.
Unless you knew Tenacious D, you wouldn't know who he was.
Yeah, you would be totally.
But who played Chip's mother? What did I say? Oh darn. Anyway, that's pretty much all the cameos in the movie. I believe.
I'm sure there's something we missed.
The date. Owen Wilson.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Owen Wilson shows up as
the macho date.
Yes, so the movie is definitely enjoyable. If again, you have to enjoy, watching Jim Carrey's antics. At the time, the movie was fairly controversial as he was not playing, a heroic type character. He wasn't a good guy. If the connection with What About Bob and crazy Joker on my shirt here isn't any indication, he's unhinged and like I said, we mentioned he's kind of stalking him.
Oh yeah, his mother was played by Kathy Griffin.
That's it. Okay, thank you. Very brief cameo, only one scene, and
then she's blurred out.
Is she blurred out too?
She's blurred out because it's supposed to be a fuzzy memory. The whole thing is that he was raised by television.
Yes.
So he's obsessed with cable, but then he gets obsessed with people, and then he got fired from the cable.
The funny scene is that he's like 8 years old. He's sitting in front of the TV, and his mom's saying, "Oh, I'm going out. Stick with the babysitter. Babysitter being the TV, or is implied to be anyway." And he's like, "What am I gonna get a little brother to play with? That's what mommy's going to work on right now, sweetie."
Yeah.
Don't sit so close to the TV. You'll ruin your eyes or something like that. The only advice she gives him, and he just turns the station to a new, cranks the knob, turns to a new station, and she's out the door. So yeah, definitely. If you grew up, watching shows, or especially like TV Land shows, or anything from the 80s and the 90s, you're going to get a lot of these references that went straight over my head as a kid. I saw this, what did I say? I think I was like 10 years old when I saw this. I loved it. And even though I did not get like good many of these references, he was still wacky and goofy and funny that it didn't matter that I didn't know what the references were he was making. He was just being silly. So yeah, he does this famous Silence of the Lambs bit, and it's like, I didn't know what Silence of the Lambs was, but hey, he's making a goofy face. So it's like, yeah, that's all it took to make me laugh at 10 years old. But yeah, now that I've seen Silence of the Lambs, I get what he's referencing, and it makes a whole lot more sense now. But yeah, it's definitely a movie of its time between a lot of the different moments. Obviously Cable being one of them. Giant sound systems being very large instead of, just a sound bar under your TV and maybe a few tiny speakers in the corners of your room. Yeah, very, very much a dated movie. What About Bob? Even though it feels like an 80s movie, it's a little bit more of a timeless movie in a way. About the only significant things technology-wise would be a Greyhound bus type of thing, or a tourist bus. What do you call those?
Yeah.
And ABC's ABC TV, and what was the name of the show? Good Morning America. which, as you said, is still a thing. So other than maybe the logo is slightly retro looking, yeah, the movie still holds up as far as what you'd expect of things nowadays. Oh, one minor thing would be the absence of cell phones. Nope, nobody has a cell phone.
A lot of payphones.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There's a scene with a payphone. Okay, so yeah, still, I guess it is a little bit dated, but far less so than Cable Guy. But anyhow, definitely recommend both of these movies if you like the main actors. They're definitely like both the two main characters are in every scene of the movie. If not one or the other, it's both. Pretty much. And yeah, any further thoughts or?
Cable Guy. I don't know. I think you covered it all. They're both movies about two people with mental health issues latching on to someone who deserves some sort of punishment to some degree. I would disagree that. I would say that Matthew Broderick less so. And it kind of escalates. And Cable Guy ebbed and flowed, but by the end, they both were driven to madness. And
somebody was, anyway.
Yeah, somebody was. The only difference is, I think, in What About Bob? You start to root for Bob.
Yeah, I definitely would agree to that.
And Cable Guy's Judd Apatow.
Oh, okay, thank you. So yeah, wasn't anything recent for this video, but we did just see John Wick Chapter 4. Haven't quite decided if we're gonna do a review of that just yet. Maybe once we watch another Keanu Reeves movie, we'll talk about both of them. But yeah, definitely enjoyed it. But yeah. Happy Anniversary Friday, happy Trans Awareness Day, and
Visibility!
Yeah, Trans Visibility Day, thank you. Sorry about that.
You can't see me.
Ah.
No, you can. Today you can.
Ah. So, yeah. What are you going to be streaming tonight? Anything?
I don't know. I wanted to do a trans game to celebrate, but I'm kind of short on money. So we're probably just going to do more Braid.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about trans stuff, though. Maybe we'll do some just chatting, talk about trans things.
You've actually gotten to World 6, if I'm not mistaken, so you're getting close to completing it. If the puzzles don't trip you up before the end of the stream, we may end up completing it. But yeah, thanks for tuning into our video. We'll see you all next week. Which by then it'll be April, and tomorrow is April Fool's Day. Be sure to check out my birthday videos that I did for Rose Beta. It's her birthday today, and tomorrow is Wubs, aka Slime's birthday, which I did a video for him as well last year.
April Fools, he didn't do a video.
Yes, I did.
Was I there?
Yes.
Yay!
Pretty sure you were. I don't see why you wouldn't be. I think the only one I did without you was Teddy Dead Rat. At least since moving here, anyway. I did do some with Lionel and oh darn it! I can't remember the other bunny's name now. Anyway, sorry about that, Lionel. If you're watching this, let me know what was the brown bunny's name. I can't remember. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.